Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we're going to continue reading from Canto 4, Chapter 4, text 25. Kritva samanav anilo jitasana.
Kritva samano anilo jitasana.
Sodhanam uthapyachana vichakrataha.
Sodhanam jana krita.
Shaner Shridistapya Dhivrashri Sthitam.
Shane Sudhistapasya dhiya urasi sthitam.
Skandhat Bhruvor Madhyam Aninditanayat.
Kandhat bhuvro madhyam anita anayat.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. First of all, she sat in the required sitting posture, and then she carried the life air upwards and placed it in the position of equilibrium near the navel. Then she raised her life air, mixed with intelligence, to the heart, and then gradually towards the pulmonary passage, and from there to between her eyebrows. So this is the way the yogi leaves their body. They can manipulate. The yogi knows, oh, where is the life air, the pran, how to bring it up, gradually raising it higher and higher. The yogic process is to control the air passing within the body in different places called Satchakra, the 6 circles of air circulation. That air is raised from the abdomen to the navel, from the navel to the heart, from the heart to the throat, from the throat to between the eyebrows, and from between the eyebrows to the top of the cerebrum. So the 6 chakras, the abdomen, the navel, the heart, the throat, the eyebrows, and then the top of the head. That is the sum and substance of practicing yoga. So this is the way the yogi, he can decide, the Ashtanga yogi, he knows how to gradually raise his life air and the soul leaves the body from the head. Before practicing the real yoga system, one has to practice the sitting postures, because this helps in the breathing exercises which control the airs going upwards and downwards. So before the yogi does this pranayam, he does the asana, because based on the asana, then he can sit so long, and also it's easier for him to do the pranayam. This is a great technique which one has to practice to attain the highest perfectional stage of yoga. But such practice is not meant for this age. Why? Why it's not meant for this age? Anyone? If it's a great technique, it's a valid technique, why it's not recommended for us for this age?
It takes very, very long for
That's right.
it to be fructified. It takes a long time. We require thousands of years of practice, and we don't have that much age in Kali Yuga. We just live for 100 years, maybe the maximum. So
thank you. Yes, that's right. Thank you. So no one in this age can attain the perfectional stage of such yoga, but people indulge in practicing sitting postures, which is more or less a gymnastic process. By such bodily gymnastics, one may develop good circulation and may therefore keep one's body fit. But if one simply restricts oneself to that gymnastic process, one cannot attain the highest perfectional stage. So for us, the modern people, for us, yoga means what? Oh, that I'm going to do some exercises for the body. That's what we think yoga is. But this exercises is only the preliminary part of the yoga. The main part of the yoga is samadhi, which we don't know as As Neha rightly pointed out, it takes a very long time. We do not have that kind of time in this body. And so we just think that this maintaining the body, this exercise is called yoga. But yoga actually means linking with the Supreme. The meaning of the word yoga is linking with the Supreme. Of course, this is good to maintain the physical body. We are not saying about that. Some people prefer to go to the gym, some go to swimming, some people do whatever, hiking, some people do the yoga. That depends on whatever one wants to do. But what Prabhupada is trying to explain to us that real yoga means linking ourselves with the Supreme Lord. The yoga process, as described in the Keshava Shruti, describes how one can control his living force according to his desire and transmigrate from one body to another or from one place to another. So the yogis have that kind of power that they can choose where they want to go to, which planet they want to go to. Prabhupada would say that, oh, people want to go to the moon planet, but we cannot force ourselves into the moon planet. We cannot, Prabhupada would say, take a Sputnik and go there. Man tried to do that, but we don't even know if they reached the moon. That's another thing. Something to think about. If they went, why didn't they go again? Something to think about. But the real way to go, and the moon is a higher planet, so they are more it's more beautiful than this Earth planet because it's a heavenly planet. So if one really wants to visit the moon planet, one can practice this yoga system and go there. But again, the moon planet is also within the world, in this material world. We should in fact desire to go to the spiritual world. We should desire to go to the spiritual world, not to any other planet in this material world. And the easiest process for going back to the spiritual world is by hearing and chanting. By chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, by hearing regularly from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, we can easily go back to the spiritual world. In other words, yoga practice is not meant to keep the body fit. Any transcendental process of spiritual realization automatically helps one to keep the body fit, for it is the spirit soul that keeps the body always fresh. As soon as the spirit soul is out of the body, the material body immediately begins to decompose. That's what it is, no? As soon as, why do we say a dead body? What is the difference between a dead body and a living body? The difference is that the soul is there in one and the soul is not there in the other. And as soon as the soul is out of the body begins to decompose, deteriorate. Any spiritual process keeps the body fit without spiritual separate endeavor. But if one takes it that the ultimate aim of yoga is to maintain the body, then he is mistaken. The real perfection of yoga is elevation of the soul to a higher position or the liberation of the soul from material entanglement. So, because Prabhupada is trying to educate us, otherwise we won't know. We will think yoga means just doing the physical body exercises. But he's saying, no, okay, you do the physical body exercises, that's all right. But what is the real aim of yoga? The aim of yoga is to release the soul from this material atmosphere, to go back to the spiritual atmosphere, or to any higher position. Gradual elevation of the soul, going to the higher planets like Janalok, Tapalok, Maharlok. Some yogis try to elevate the soul to higher planetary systems, where the standard of life is different from that of this planet, and where the material comforts, lifespan, and other facilities for self-realization are greater. And some yogis endeavor to elevate the soul to the spiritual world, the spiritual Vaikuntha planets. The Bhakti Yoga process directly elevates the soul to the spiritual planets where life is eternally blissful and full of knowledge. Therefore, Bhakti Yoga is considered to be the greatest of all yoga systems. So Krishna also speaks about this in the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that how a yogi, he may gradually try to elevate himself. He might go from this earth planet, go to the higher planets, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Maharloka, like that, gradually elevate, reach Brahmalok. Then after he reaches Brahmalok, then he may go to the spiritual world as he gets more and more qualified, as he perfects the technique of yoga more and more. So it's a valid process, but the Bhakti Yoga process is a more direct process. Directly from this earth planet, we can go to the spiritual world. We do not need to go to the higher planets to go to the spiritual world. Like suppose there's a journey we have to take. Sometimes we may say, oh, to reach from one place to A to B, there are in between, I have to go here and here and here. We have to take the transit. But in Bhakti Yoga, we do not need to transit anywhere. It's a direct flight. Directly, we can go to the spiritual world, to the Vaikuntha world. Is that okay? And Bhakti Yoga begins by hearing and chanting. Hearing from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Directly, we can go back home, back to Godhead.
So is this something to do with the Brahman realization or the Paramatma realization, yoga? If
Yeah,
people
so
like...
in Ashtanga Yoga, the yogi, once he is perfected his yoga, he can see the Paramatma. That's the perfection of the yoga, as we were hearing from Lord Kapila Dev in 3rd canto. Yes, that's right. He will get the Paramatma realization. So, reading on. Evam spadeham mahatam mahiyasa.
Evam swatiham mahatam mahiyasa
Muhu samaropitam ankam adarat.
samaropitam ankam adarat
Jihasati daksharusha manaswani.
jihasati daksharushamanasvini
Dadhara gatresha anilagni dharanam.
gatreshu anilagnidharanam.
Thus, in order to give up her body, which had been so respectfully and affectionately seated on the lap of Lord Shiva, who is worshipped by great sages and saints, Sati, due to anger towards her father, began to meditate on the fiery air within the body. Lord Shiva is described herein as the best of all great souls. Although Sati's body was born of Daksh, Lord Shiva used to adore her by sitting her on his lap. This is considered a great token of respect. Thus, Sati's body was not ordinary, but still she decided to give it up because it was the source of unhappiness because of its connection with Daksh. So, what Maitreya Muni is saying that although, yes, Sati's father is Daksh, so Daksh had given her this body and she wanted to cut off all connections with Daksh, but the same very body was respected and loved and adored so much by Lord Shiva because he would make her sit on his lap and affection. So that is a great affection that Lord Shiva has for Sati. This severe example set by Sati is to be followed. One should be extremely careful about associating with persons who are not respectful to the higher authorities. It is therefore instructed in the Vedic literature that one should always be free from the association of atheists and non-devotees and should try to associate with devotees. For by the association of a devotee, one can be elevated to the platform of self-realization. So how Guru Maharaj said the other day, we can't go around taking our own life or taking the lives of others, but we can come to the Madhyam platform. The Madhyam platform, the Madhyam devotee, what does he do? He avoids the atheists or the blasphemers, and he makes friendship with the devotees. Now, why should one try to associate with the devotees? What's the benefit? You're always trying to say, oh, if I do this, what am I going to get? That's at least most of us think. Why should I do this? How am I to gain if I do this? So we are always being advised, associate with the devotees, try to associate with devotees, try to associate with devotees. Here Prabhupada is giving the answer. For by association of a devotee, one can be elevated to the platform of self-realization. Association of a devotee, one can be elevated to the platform of self-realization. This injunction is stressed in many places in Srimad Bhagavatam. If one wants to be liberated from the clutches of material existence, then one has to associate with great souls. And if one wants to continue with material's existential life, then one may associate with persons who are materialistic. So does anyone remember about association with a devotee, how that helped the person to come to the platform of self-realization? Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kahe, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hai. Caitanya Mahaprabhu says that in Caitaniya Caritamita. Does anyone remember
So
any pastime?
Narad Muni, when he
With-
was a baby,
Oh yes, Narad
and
Muni is
he associated.
Yes, that's right. Narad Muni's personal example. In his previous life, he was the son of a maidservant. And by association with the Mahabhagavats, with the pure devotees of the Lord, he became a pure devotee. He became Narad Muni. Otherwise, he was just a small boy, young boy, not educated, no nothing in his previous life. Just by association, he became Narad Muni. Any other example?
Valmiki.
Valmiki, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Who did Valmiki associate with?
Narad Muni.
Narad Muni.
Yeah.
He was
right.
a dacoit, no? Right.
Yes. That's right. Valmiki, a dacoit. How from a dacoit he becomes a pure devotee that he could write the Ramayana.
Right, Ramayana, yeah.
Yeah, even before the Ramayana happened, he could foresee the Ramayana.
And can we also use Dev Ahuti Ma? Dev Ahuti when she associated with Lord Kapila Muni?
Oh, sure. Well, Lord Kapila
Right,
Kapila is the Lord himself,
Okay.
He's the Lord himself. So here we are trying to say association of a devotee.
Devotee, okay.
Yes. Any other examples? What comes to my mind is Mrigari the hunter. He associated with Narad Muni.
Then
And
even Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad
yes,
Maharaj, right?
yes,
They all
yes,
could be included in this.
yes, that's right. So yes, that's right.
And how
so we can
Jadai Madai,
Jagai Madai, the association of Nityananda Prabhu.
Nityananda Prabhu.
Yes,
Yeah.
association of a devotee. Yes. So we can see just how by association of a devotee, no matter we may be very fallen, we have no qualifications, we can come to the highest platform. And Narad Muni is so special, there's so many. He is like, creating pure devotees just like wherever he goes, People see him, people speak to him, and they just become pure devotees. It's like a chintamani. The devotee is like a chintamani. He can make so many other devotees. Chintamani stone, like you touch it and that object that it touches becomes gold. So here Narad Muni, whoever comes in association with him becomes a devotee. So then the materialistic way of life is based on sex life. thus both becoming addicted to sex life and associating with persons who are addicted to sex life are condemned in the Vedic literature because such association will simply interfere with one's spiritual progress. However, association with great personalities, devotees who are great souls, will elevate one to the spiritual platform. So, association is very powerful. It's like a crystal. We take on the color of the association. The words are said, birds of a feather flock together. We also have Jaisa Sang Vaisa Rang. In different languages, this thing is there. It's very applicable. So who we associate with. If we associate with the devotees, then we also can become devotees. Sati Devi decided to quit the body she had obtained from Daksha's body and wanted to transfer herself to another body so that she might have completely uncontaminated association with Lord Shiva. Of course, it is understood. So then now Sati, she's going to give up her body. And then how does she again come back to Lord Shiva? Sati is Lord Shiva's eternal consort. It's not that only in one life they are together. No, she's eternally Lord Shiva's consort. Like Lakshmi Devi, she's eternally Narayan's consort. Radharani is eternally Krishna's consort. Sita Devi, she is eternally Lord Ramachandra's consort. It's eternal relationship. So is the relationship between Sati and Lord Shiva. So in her next life, she's going to take birth as the daughter of the Himalayas, Parvati. Himalaya Parvat, and that's why she's called Parvati. And then she would again accept Lord Shiva as her husband. Sati and Lord Shiva are eternally related. Even after she changes her body, their relationship is never broken. So this is the eternal relationship. Similarly, we have an eternal relationship with Krishna. We have simply forgotten it. That relationship is never broken. We have forgotten it. And how can we revive it? The more we hear, the more we chant, we can revive our eternal relationship with Krishna. Follow the four regulative principles. Prabhupada would say, follow the four regulative principles and chant Hare Krishna, and we can be situated in our eternal relationship with Krishna. Did anyone want to add anything? Comment?
No, all good.
Okay, thank you so much for joining in today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna.